Welcome back to the No Referees podcast. I'm your host, Evarist Akajobi. This is a special quarantine edition. We got the entire HBU men's basketball team from 2011 to 2014 on the line with us. What up, fellas?
Oh, what up?
What up?
What's up?
What's going on? What's
Man,
going on,
got,
man?
if you're listening on the podcast or audio, I was going to run down a list of names we have. We got some of the best names and some of the most memorable people y'all have ever seen in an HBU uniform. We got Marcel Smith, Lamar Thomas, Reveal, Chukwu, Jakwu, Tyler Russell, Arthur Bernardi, Dustin Hoball, Dwayne Bowden, Rob Lewis, Mike Turner, Anthony Hill, and Terry Bembry all online with us today. First of all, give a shout out to our veteran that's on with us today, Tyler Russell. Just want to say thank you for, your support. Thank you for, holding us down, protecting our freedom. What made you, when you left HBU, decide to join the military?
Appreciate it. Well, some of y'all may know my dad was a retired Marine, so that was always in the back of my mind. I ain't kind of decide that I wanted to do it till late senior year when we when Coach Cacho, I don't know if you knew about this, Steve, but our senior year, Marcel, we couldn't play in the postseason. We were ineligible.
I know that.
Yeah, so before the season started, they told the seniors, like, hey, y'all could transfer without, being able to sit a year and play immediately, or we could stay. I remember me and Sel was like, we done too much work. This is our last year. And so we're about to graduate and everything. So, so I started that process late, but it's been a blessing. I know I always get hit up about, especially now with the circumstances in the world. Hey, what's going on in the military? Y'all going martial law? I'm like, hey, most of that information, y'all will find out when we find out. And y'all will find out quickly, too. So it's just been a blessing and everything. So appreciate that.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you, man. And another one of our athletes online is Arthur Bernardi. He's joined us from Brazil. He's the only person that's currently not in America that's on this call. And, we've heard a lot of stuff around the world with this coronavirus situation. Art, what's going on in Brazil with everything?
How you doing, Coach? Yeah, the coronavirus just hit us like this month of April. So we kind of taking the actions right now. So the quarantine just started the April. So we stay in house, staying in, and taking care because Brazil, it can go bad real quick, much more than America. So all the work here and sports, they done for the month, and hopefully we get back on May. But we don't know yet. We're just waiting for the next new what's coming. We don't know. Still waiting.
You've seen the news, like in America, we see it every day. Like every day, it's like Trump saying something different. Our military people, like, what are the military and the government saying to you guys over in Brazil?
Yeah, they kind of give us the information that it could get worse if we don't stay home. So they thinking about giving fine to people. I don't know how much money, so they can stay home. And I think that's the next call for the government and the military. If people do not stay home, they're gonna start getting fined and so on, maybe get arrested. That's happening on big cities. Right now, I'm on my small city, like my home, small city. So here is more chill. People actually respect more. But on big cities like Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, people actually have to work, and we're waiting. We hope that they don't go out to work, but they have to do work to get their money, and the government has to help. And we're just waiting to see if the government helps them to stay home. But there's nothing much we can do but stay home here.
Right. Well, man, I want you to be safe over there, man. We're all praying for, you to be safe. I know you're far away from us, your extended HBU family, but, you're always, family, you know what I'm saying? So to stay safe over there. And then another one of our members online, Dustin Hoball, he's, his father is a retired military personnel, serves in NASA. Dustin, a question for you that I was wondering, Has your dad mentioned to you about any of the astronauts that's currently like in space? With this coronavirus situation going on, if they're able to talk to their families or anything of that nature?
No, he hasn't, but I honestly haven't asked him. So that'd be a good question to ask him, run by. I don't know like the current state of who all's up at the space station right now or anything like that. So I'll have to get back to you on that one.
I'm just curious because if they're like in the space station and we got all this turmoil going down here, like they can't really do nothing from, up there. They just got to just hear the news and just kind of just see how it all unfolds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the last time my dad was up was about 10 years ago. Even at that time, we had capabilities of doing stuff like this, like video conferences and stuff. So as far as them staying in touch with their family, I hope they're able to do that. But beyond that, I have no idea.
So I got a question for my man, Lamar Thomas, man. You recently married, man. You moved on from HBU. You do a lot of big things. What's it like being a married man now?
It's cool, man. Just doing the same as most people. Just out here working a job, trying to get rich like my man Anthony Hill down there in Dallas. We're in Atlanta now. Just living, working, enjoying Peachtree City. So it was nice, going to Hawks games and stuff before they shut all that down. Just enjoying each other, just enjoying being married. So it's pretty cool. I would just say, like, just listen to your wife, because if not, like, to make your life miserable. So, but no, it's good time, more good times than bad for sure.
I hear you. So, question for Rob Lewis. You recently played overseas. What was it like to, come back in this coronavirus situation, and what are the teams over there saying about if you could come back and play? Anybody that's still overseas playing or still stuck over there? Kind of give some insight on that.
With the whole situation, it was a weird situation just being in Europe. Nobody really knew what was going on, and it just hit us all at once. A lot of leagues were canceling on their own or suspending leagues. Some teams were giving players permission to go back home and assuming that they would return if leagues got started back up. With my league in particular, we stopped practicing in a short span of maybe 2 days. They told us that our league was canceled. So we all caught flights and came back home. And then week after week after week, since I guess the end of February, more leagues have been canceling, more players been coming home. But yeah, I do know some people who are still in France. A couple of my friends are still in Spain. Those leagues are just suspended as of right now. It's a lot of greed and things like that when it comes to this basketball. So they're trying to get leagues to resume so that they can make their money. But as everybody knows, they probably won't happen. So I think next week they say if they can't come up with a solution, that they're going to let those two leagues go ahead and cancel and let those guys come on home. So it's just been a weird situation all around. My team, we were in third place fighting for a championship, and obviously the season came to an end. So it's kind of bittersweet. It feels good to be back home, but I wanted to win a championship, but health and safety is the most important. So it is what it is at this point.
I'm glad you made it back safe, brother. I know that getting back safely supersedes getting a check sometimes, and glad you're back here, family and friends, just back being safe. So let me get over to my man Velo. My Nigerian brother, Reveal Chukwujeku. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he came on his visit, he had his parents with him. We were speaking that Igbo. You know what I'm saying? When he came on his visit, Real, I'm just curious. You're a guy from Houston. You went to high school right around the corner from HBU, a straight Jesuit. End up playing at HBU. What was the deciding factor for you going to HBU? Was it proximity? Was it academics? What was it?
Well, it was a little bit of everything, with HBU being really close. I didn't really plan on that. I wanted to get away from my Nigerian parents are so strict. But I think when it came down to the mixture of both the academics and athletics, and with you, training some old NBA guys and making sure they're physically ready, and seeing where it's a place that can grow. It was a new Division I school. I was a part of the incoming culture to come into a real competitive space. So I really want to come in and establish something that can really, immortalize my career in terms of being one of those players that helped HBU get to Division I ready status and make their mark.
Well, you didn't need me to come in because you came in jollof right strong. You know what I'm saying? Your parents had you ready. You didn't need me.
I mean, I was a little ready, but there was some things I was lacking athletically. I know you can always have my core, my balance, And those are some of the things that are really important in terms of really using your athleticism to the fullest and making sure you're not injury prone. So I always think that, yeah, I came in strong with a little bit of genetics and it was a little bit just hard work, but I always had something to work on from somebody that was professional and expertise in the area.
When you were at HBU, being the fact that Straight Jesuit was so close, did you ever go back and watch their games, talk to the kids on the team about how college life is and things of that nature?
Oh, all the time. You know, I had a few players that I was looking at in terms of just like helping mentor them and just bettering their career. And I would tell them, like, I would go to the games, watch it, and tell them, you know, Division I basketball, who you're playing right now in high school, it's not going to be the same athletic-wise in college. So it's really important that you use this time to work on your skill level and not necessarily just rely on your athleticism. And also to make sure that your grades are up to par too. You know, like I said, HBU was a great academic school for me. I managed to get 2 degrees out of it. So having that said, you know, it just allowed me to really have some perspective as I went into athletics, especially Division I realm.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thanks. Sorry, let's get into some of HBU basketball stuff. You know, so I think the only person that's on here that wasn't here my first year, 2011, was Rob and Velo. So that first summer when we came in, summer 2011, with majority of y'all, out of all the times we had, what do y'all think that was the most memorable time we had that summer?
I gotta say, going to them hills, man. We was putting in some work, and it was tough. It was tough. It was seeing some guys, real character come out for sure.
I would say for me, I think like the funniest moment of the summer was when my man Dwayne walked into the gym. That boy had those blue hyper dunks on. We were doing conditioning. I don't know if y'all remember what I said. So he came in there, you know, he had the royal blue hyper dunks on. He thought he was clean. That boy thought he just came down the roadway. That boy, he just was.
I was doing from day one. Those were my high school.
Hey, hold on. We gotta set the people up. So he came in with the blue, royal blue. I thought it was like this boy went to East Bay, got him some HBU color shoes. That boy came in, did a couple of sprints down and back.
Kind of look like John Wall a little bit now. Think about it.
Did a couple of sprints down and back. And I was like, yo, what's that on your shoes, bro? You got some limited edition, you know, got your logo on them, boys. Then he walked up closer to him. He was like, man, I got these. These are some special edition. I was like, they got UK, University of Kentucky on them, boys. Y'all remember what I said to Dwayne after I found out about that?
What'd you say?
I don't even remember.
Man, I said, hey, if Dwayne don't take them shoes off right now, we all gonna be running until y'all throw up.
This ain't Kentucky.
Hey,
Better than Kentucky.
You never would have got Dustin to throw up though, man. We were running 22s and Dustin was running them in 14 seconds. Looking at
man,
eating them
more,
22s.
looking for more.
Dustin had his upperclassmen so mad. We would say, Dustin, running fast ain't gonna get you on the court, bro. This ain't no track team. Man, I don't think time his entire career.
And I used to win the sprints after he left for sure.
That's about all I had to go for. You got to take
I
advantage.
didn't.
All right, so I got a question. You know, I'm gonna get down to some fun stuff. So, out of my 3 years there, we got three guys on the team on this call that just scored the ball at an extremely high level. If y'all had to put 1-on-1 Rob Lewis versus Tyler Russell, who y'all got?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm riding with my boy Rob.
That's tough.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Is this pre-injury Ty or is this
exactly?
Like,
You know, Ty windmill for fun.
I think this is just overall.
I need some parameters, coach. Is this open gym? I'm talking bad to everybody, and so people are getting mad playing, or is this we playing cool?
Nah. I want that open gym, no
That's
rules,
tough.
no nothing.
I think I gotta go Rob just because the dude always wanted to play everybody in 1-on-1 every day. Like
I'm going Rob because he's from the H. Tyler, my boy, though, he know that.
Ty, my guy. Ty just got buckets. He really wasn't even paying attention to whether you were scoring or not. He don't really care. He just kind of like, hey, man, I'm nice, and that's just
Bucket.
It's just too easy for him.
It was just like, come on, man. It's Senior Ty, man. Like, I just, you know, I got 15, whatever, you know.
Mike T, I want to ask you a question just from coming in, being one of the guys on the team that had an integral part. Although that you didn't play as much, how do you feel your experience at HBU and your role has helped you in your career? And we'll talk about some of the stuff that you've done.
I mean, just from the start, like, I mean, I came in and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't prepared for, I guess, like the physical aspect of Division I basketball. And it actually showed very quickly. So like as far as the conditioning and like practices and all, I wasn't really able to keep up at first. And that actually kind of like drove me to work even harder and like push myself even more, put more hours in so I could actually catch up and have fun with the rest of the guys and be able to compete and like actually, you know, go out there and actually help them get better. So, I mean, yeah, just as far as that, like, I mean, that struggle, it really helped me out as far as like life after basketball and just always looking towards what's next and just work and don't worry about, you know, what's going on and the extra, like the distractions and all.
You put so much time in, like you were just so dedicated. Like I've been around for so long and seen so many players, either at the college or pro level. I mean, I don't think I've ever really see a guy that, you know, wasn't on scholarship or wasn't a main rotation guy, put in so much work, you know. So does that have to do with like just how you were raised, your work ethic, or just how hungry you were for the game?
It was probably a good mix of everything. I mean, like I always loved the game, just beyond like pretty much anything else in the world. But I mean, obviously besides God and like my family and all, but like basketball has always just kind of been like my outlet. So I don't know, that just it was always something that I loved doing. And when I got my ass busted day after day, Tone knows what I'm talking about. It just became one of those things where like it made me that much more hungry, and like it drove me like to that level where I knew I had to put in that level of work, otherwise it just wasn't going to work out for me.
That boy got a lot of pride.
Mike T used to come for me every single day, bro. I didn't know what was going on. Mike, you don't know this, but at the time I would go home afterwards like, man, I'm the weak link because his boy's just coming for me. Mike T would want to switch teams to guard me.
Nah. You used to kill me, bro. Like I swear I looked up so much because like that it actually started the very first day I got there when I think it was right after I met you and Lamar. We went and played like a few games and I wasn't really shooting the ball. You looked over at me and you're like, bro, like shoot the ball. What are you doing? And I looked back up and I was like, oh, my fault. Like I was just trying to like move it. Like me coming in as the walk on, I had always looked up to y'all as like, y'all are the guys. Like I'm supposed to get you guys the ball. I'm supposed to get you, you know, in your position. You know, I'm just kind of out here making sure everything flows. And so like, you know, it really drove me to want to get after it with y'all. And, you know, when you're busting my ass every day, I'm really trying to, you know, work that much harder.
Yeah, I can see that, Mike. And, you know, sometimes I wish that some dudes worked as hard as you, you know, as far as just on the court and the weight room and things of that nature. So let's talk about working in the weight room. We got our boy Velo. That boy is just like muscle bound. Boy, you was like a walking weight room. Tell us about, you know, why you had so much dedication in the weight room and how that translated on the court.
It's probably just based off my previous injury to tear my ACL while I was in high school. I remember I was playing football. It's not even related to basketball, but just being on the field and just getting hurt by somebody that's just bigger than me and just stronger than me. I never wanted that to happen again as long as I could control it. So coming into the weight room, I had a goal of just trying to get stronger every single day and making sure that I was prepared. With your workouts, it was definitely the toughest I probably ever had, even after you left. You know what I mean? So, but, you know, just having that mentality of just thinking about the best teams that were in conference each and every year, no matter what conference it was, those teams were the most physical. Those teams, they set the hardest screens. Those teams, they always bumped somebody when they came through the lane for a cut. It was just the most physical team. So just being in the room was very important and critical. even if you are a basketball player. So that's what I always thought. So I took the weight room very seriously.
Well, everybody else that's on here, who y'all think was stronger in the weight room, Velo or Caleb?
Velo.
I don't know. Caleb was
That's tough.
pretty strong.
The days that Caleb used to argue on the phone with his girlfriend and come in the weight room, Caleb. And both for those of y'all that used to hear them arguments outside,
2 different types of strength.
yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Hey,
I think Velo had better technique and all that stuff.
Y'all boys, wow.
Caleb was like mad. When he get mad, he a different type of strong. He crazy.
Man,
Yeah.
I got that.
All right, so who y'all taking? I got another one-on-one matchup for y'all boys. Who y'all taking? Terry Jerome or R2? Who y'all taking one-on-one?
How you gonna ask that? He's a pro.
No, that don't mean nothing. At that particular time, when nobody pros, y'all was all student athletes. So
Are we talking?
we talking 2011, 2012. My first year there. That's what we talking.
So Terry that could beat Dwight Howard, but it should have been a Georgetown team.
That Terry.
Or you talking about the Terry that played, I don't know, open gym Terry, with some PV dudes. I done seen Terry get real busy on guys.
Well, hold on. But the question is, Art in 2011 or Terry in 2011? That's what we taking one-on-one.
But hey, I'm gonna have to go with Art. But with Terry, towards the end of that season, we were doing that postseason play. Terry was balling.
Terry was getting about 20 out there. He was hooping.
One thing I will say,
do that the postseason.
Art applied pressure to me because when I realized I wasn't playing, I'm like, yo, like, some got to give. Then that Duquesne game, when all y'all got in foul trouble, I was like, yeah, that's it. No more bench time.
And I got to say, though, during our time at HBU, Art, what he did that last, I think his senior year, man, special.
We got to the point where we were really like one of those childhood teams where you pass Art the ball and play defense.
Hey, if we're gonna talk about one-on-ones, we gotta talk about Ben Daniels and Anthony Gonzalez. I know Lamar and Ant know what I'm talking about.
See, I wasn't there for that, so I never saw that. That's what I'm saying. So I wasn't around there for that.
If we're gonna talk about Ben playing one-on-one, man, we got to talk about Ben versus Mike T, man.
So I was gonna ask Mike T versus Abs who would win one-on-one matchup, but I know.
Oh my God!
But hold on, but I know for sure. But I know. Hold on, but I know for sure that Abs and that Mike T and Jacob Gonzalez played one-on-one at once upon a time. Cause I know them boys used to take it serious. Real quick shout out to Jacob Gonzalez. I talked to him. He's in some military somewhere, protecting our country somewhere in California. Shout out to him, HBU fam. Shout out to John Evans, another HBU fam that's in the military. Couldn't get on the call today. So, again, thank y'all for y'all service. But Mike T, I don't know the story. I mean, I guess you could tell us a story about you versus Ben Daniels. I mean, I don't know about that story. Go ahead and tell it.
I'm going to let Lamar tell that one.
Bro, it's your story to tell, man. All I got to add is that when Ben won, Spencer did a cartwheel on the court.
And at that moment, we knew.
I got one for y'all. So practice, every day we had practice. We had like some staples like 5-ball and some other stuff. I mean, what was some of the things y'all liked about practice, and what's some things that y'all was like, dang, I can't believe we're gonna do this again?
The thing I like was hearing that clap. That slow.
I hated tip drill.
That was the best part.
Tip drill was the worst thing ever.
I used to hate shooting bank shots. I just never understood that. I used to think that was but I will say, now that I coach now, some of the 2-minute warm-up layup drill, I actually use that. That ain't that bad. Getting some shots.
The funniest thing to me, I remember from my freshman year, was when they pulled those weighted balls out and we had to do the weave and start passing. Because when it seemed like the simplest thing.
Bro, the big tape ball.
I hate that.
Take some people that are mad and they got weighted basketballs in their hand to throw at people. It was just a whole nother level.
No, we love scrimmaging though.
Yeah, that was the worst. The best
Them
part
weighted balls, you be 5 feet apart, John, I'll launch it dead at your chest. Launch. And then look at you crazy when you catch it. He was like, what's going on, man?
Why you ain't catch that?
It'd be like that dude that he throws it as hard as he can, and you ask him why he did it. He's like, bro, I barely threw it at you. Like, no,
You know who was
you
good
wound
for
up.
automatic drop though? My guy Ryan.
While we talking about practice, I'll say one thing. I used to hate game days simply because of your pregame warmups, man.
I wanted to make sure that athletes had access to a shooting machine that they could take anywhere. So I came up with the concept to fold it into a duffel bag. I ended up prototyping with my friend Xavier, welding our first prototypes in the garage. I made it for myself. I also made it for the millions of other athletes out there that are trying to reach their dreams and trying to make it out.
All right, so Rob, you was asking a question. You was making a statement about how you used to hate the pregame warm-up. So the pregame warm-ups was meant to get y'all boys ready. You know what I'm saying? What about you ain't like?
Man, either warm-up used to seem longer than the game, and I'd be more tired in the pregame warm-up and doing more sweating than I did in the actual game.
Facts.
No, that's facts for me.
That's facts for me. I was like, first quarter, the first meeting, I'm like, woo, thank God that meeting.
The warm-up was only 10 minutes.
Man, we used to have to be at the gym early though.
He was putting boys through individual workouts during pregame.
And you knew it too. He had us getting the chewables.
The chewables and the chocolate milk, yes sir.
Hey, I used to make sure my boys was taken care of. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never the pre-game workout was so hard. I never used anything before games. Like until I started drinking. I started about mid-season. I'm taking the chewable about 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, I need to.
Yeah, I had to go over there and sit with my boy Coach Judd.
All right, so this is a question I got from one of y'all boys. So at any point in time, did any of y'all ever exacerbate an injury more than what y'all had to say, to get out of practice or to get out of weights?
Yes.
It's past time now, so y'all can,
Yes.
at any point in time, y'all like, man, my ankle hurt a little bit more than what it was, just so I can take a day off.
Like certain people could sit out. People could
Terry,
sit out.
your
Like if you was getting buckets.
Your senior year when they had to start doing toughness days, and then they had a certain somebody just sitting off to the side, bro, just chilling.
I broke my left hand. That was the worst injury you could ever have because I could still run and I could still shoot one-handed.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's when you had that cast on, right, Dustin?
Yeah, we used to be practicing. Dustin used to be running bleachers. I remember we was in like New Mexico.
Yeah, I remember
I think that was in like Duquesne. He was up there running bleachers. I was down there practicing. He was getting the worst workout in us.
Injury.
Flock is the reason why we ran outside in New Mexico because he wanted to leave some back in the room against Duquesne.
Bro, you left something too, bro.
And I made it back to the bus before you, and I still had to run.
That Duquesne, New Mexico trip was it was bad.
It was terrible, bro.
That was a bad trip.
Hey, remember we came back in through the thing and they had Tony Snell baptizes.
Oh, bow.
Do y'all remember McConnell playing on Duquesne?
Oh, yeah. He had like 13 assists.
I remember TJ McConnell from the film, bro, because he didn't make the block, but he tried to steal the ball and missed the steal. And coach was like, watch how he slows this guy down to set up his
He's great at doing this.
He's a joke.
Now that we're talking about running stories, I need confirmation on this story. Hey, RC making y'all run around the hotel, that's a true story?
Fam, for an hour and a half.
That is a true story. And look, Rob, I
don't know this story. Tell me the story. This was before I got there.
No, you were there. But
you were there.
RC was like, yo, I'm gonna handle this one by myself. So like I left like my jersey in the hotel room. Anthony left like his shoes. Ron left something, and Terry did something else.
But hold on. Y'all hoopers.
We left our warm-up top.
But hold on, but y'all hoopers and y'all like that's y'all equipment. But how do y'all leave y'all gear? Like I don't understand that.
It was like before practice or something. We just weren't thinking about it. Yeah.
Nah, I'm with you. Wait, real quick, Flock. Coach, we were getting 40-piece regularly. You would lose your stuff too, man. This is getting out of hand.
Hold on. All right, get to that story quick, and I got something for y'all. Go ahead, finish that story.
All right, so look, like we're running around the hotel and we're keeping up, and then I fall behind like the group, and so like we had to run like 2 miles. And then RC looks at them and it's like, yo, if you catch Lamar, you're done. And then I get back to RC and he's like, Lamar, if you catch them, you're all done. So like all of us are just sprinting around the hotel in the cold. Like they see me and like, yo, why are you running so fast? Like, why won't you let us catch you? I was like, yo, I'm trying to catch you.
Hey, what was the time? What was the time y'all had to run around the hotel? Don't exaggerate.
Hour and 15 minutes.
Bro, we were out there for so long. I don't even remember, dog. It was long.
You were my roommate, bro. I was gone because we were running. I wasn't chilling.
I don't think this was before I had got there, bro.
I don't remember this.
This is the year before he got
there.
there.
That was my freshman year.
Maybe
Who all was running?
This was on a road. This was on a road trip.
I think Ron was running.
Ron was running.
John,
I didn't come on that trip.
John was running too.
I don't think John was running that time.
John
had plenty of times. You don't got to add any for him.
Y'all remember John running for his 21st birthday?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. They made me and John was roommates every trip.
All right, so hold on. Let's get this. So that's the point I want to get real quick. So all of y'all know that we went to the hills. We ran on the track around the corner from campus, and then we ran in the blue sand pit. So, which one of those three did you think that you either loved? So you got to pick three. One you got to love, one you got to hate, and one you could never deal without. Which one of the three in that order?
Hold on. You thinking you giving the blue sand pit ain't got nothing on the first sand pit.
So the sand pit at the hill, the big volleyball.
Because it was the hill, then you go to the sand pit. I'm not trying to hear that. Driving your car, then we get in the sand pit.
Hill sand pit was the ugly one.
Yeah, because
the worst part about that blue sand pit was having blue sand stuck to your feet for 2 weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
But the one that we did a drive down 610 hit different because it was 4 p.m. so it was 100 degree, and you had to sit in traffic while you thought about what you was about to do. Man,
that's what I'm talking about, Tone. That one was different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sand pit, dog. I'm in the Marine Corps, and we don't do nothing like that.
Hey, but I seen some workouts with Marine Corps people do, and it's way more challenging than what we did though.
Yeah, the workout, but literally burning your skin. That ain't the workout.
Burn your skin.
Feet were blistered up for days.
That boxing gym you took us to was a good workout, though. I enjoyed that.
Boxing workout.
Yeah, so because I remember the boxing gym, it was the same thing. Majority of our stuff we did off campus was like in the summertime when it was like really hot. You know, kind of the idea behind it was to try to increase mental toughness, you know, when it came down into the games. So I always felt like even though if we were playing teams that may have been more skilled than us athletically or had more people skilled than us or whatever, but we were always going to be in the best condition. I feel like we never got tired. We were always in shape. Like, so those were one of the things. I know we didn't win that many games, but I don't ever think nobody really just was in better shape than we were.
That boxing workout gave me
that boxing workout.
Hey, Coach G.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm at home with my wife and daughter, and I've told them we were nice. You can't be saying things like, "I know we didn't win that many games."
We were nice. We were nice in our own regard. You got to think my first year there, 11-12, we played in the Great West. That conference don't even exist no more. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about the level of competition. So, but speaking of that, real quick, so I was talking to one of our guys yesterday. So we played a lot of those big teams, a lot of those high major teams, you know, like Michigan, New Mexico, all these other teams. You know, which one of the places did y'all feel like y'all was the most like in awe about when we went there? Like, damn, this place is huge.
Ooh.
I say like Oregon or University of Hawaii.
I'm gonna have to go with Creighton.
Creighton. Yeah, I gotta say Creighton.
Creighton. We had the whole town out there.
Creighton was because the only one that was balling that game was Ant, and everyone else had like 2 points. Ant had like 15.
And Ron was balling too.
And then Dirk had like
was big.
16 minutes.
What about Hawaii? Y'all remember Hawaii?
Yeah, Coach. Before we go Hawaii, can we talk about the tussle in Creighton? We not.
Can we? We got to.
I don't remember it, man. Y'all boys got good
No,
memory.
don't say you don't remember.
Tell it, Tone. Tell it, Tone.
Tell me. I don't remember, man.
Hold up. All right. So keep in mind, dog, we're going to halftime. Like Dustin said, nobody's getting off. If I'm the one that's getting off, you know we're getting washed. So we're down 25-30, and Aaron Ash is running, and Marcus is like, hey, hold the door. And Aaron goes,
I remember
No,
this.
he told him hold the door.
oh, you told him to hold the door. And Aaron goes, no, you hold it. Kept running. So Marcus comes in, boom, pushes open the doors. Hey, when a coach tells you to do something, you do it. Hey, and Aaron looks him up and down like, yeah, whatever, man. And then the next thing you know, Marcus is quick to the jaw.
Hey, so I was ahead. I was like in the locker room, I think. I don't know what happened. I remember it happening now that you say it. But what was –
He put that boy in the locker.
Hey, what was –
Tell him what Marcus said out loud. What did he scream? I'm going to kill him.
Hey, what was Aaron Ash thinking? Like, why he didn't want to hold the door?
He said, I'm a player, coach. I don't
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. I'm a player, coach. I'm a player, coach.
Man, oh, man, I remember we talked about that for weeks. Like, dude.
Yo, the funniest part had to be Marcus saying, yo, when a coach tells you to do something, you got to listen.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
Of all people.
Hey, Marcus Davis, hey, he used to, I think Marcus Davis was one of the fight boys, man. Hey, Marcus, you ever see this, bro? I love you, man.
Wait.
Hey, I know you used to want to, you have my back a lot, man. So, hey, but hey, that Aaron Ash joint, that was funny.
That's that AZ. That's the AZ.
Marcus was a real one. He was a real one.
Marcus was a real one. I remember when, him and Ant in the locker room, that sock incident, man.
Come on, man.
Y'all got so many incidents
Wait,
I
what
don't
happened?
know about. Yeah, what happened?
Man, we needed a TV show
We
back
sitting there
then.
drinking our chocolate milks from Coach E. Shout out to Coach E with the chocolate milks. We chilling, and I think we about to go do something else. Like we had practice or we had weights or something before. Then we about to go do something else. Tone really is just like he used to have his stuff all over the place. God bless him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Tone did have a messy locker though, for real.
That something's gonna change, y'all.
Yeah.
Lots was worse.
So we was in there chilling. We about to get ready to go do another workout, and then Marcus started putting on his stuff, and Tone had this one sock. It was the most distinct Jordan sock ever. I don't know why I remember this sock. It wasn't my sock.
They were mismatched. That's why.
Yeah, they were mismatched. Yeah. And then Marcus was like, yeah, Tone looking around like, yo, anybody see my stuff? Marcus look around nah. He started getting ready, putting on the sock. We looking I think me and Flock are looking at each other yo, he really about to put on his clothes, his socks.
Well, y'all, wow.
Everything.
Hey, the wildest part about it though, E, is it was clearly I said, so those are my socks, and he was like, "No, I bought some just like it."
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I remember that.
If we're keeping it real. We're keeping it real with y'all. If any of y'all tried it, I probably would have tried to step to y'all. I want to know parts of Marcus, bro. So I just had to let him wear my socks. I was just like, damn.
Bro.
Take the L.
The wildest part was he was like, on my son. I put that on my son. I bought these mismatched. Come on, dog.
That must have been after his 40 or 50-point game. He was feeling himself.
He was
he was getting busy that game.
And he was ready to enter his name into the draft after that one, though, for sure.
Bro, he came to practice.
Wasn't it Coach 100 win or something like that? I mean, it was a big win for Coach Contra, I think, that night.
The 100 win. He came to practice in a full Jordan sweatsuit.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, I do remember that. When you guys were trying to finishing up playing and your eligibility was over with and it was trying to go to the next level. I mean, some of y'all guys are still playing pro right now, but some of y'all guys now in corporate America. Did y'all ever feel like when it was all said and done, dang, I missed those days? Because you always think in the moment, it's man, I'm just ready to get these 4 years over with. But once it gets over with, it was damn, I wish I could go back to those days. Y'all ever have those type of moments?
You shaking your head, Flock, but yes, I do.
Nah. Bro, I got money now. They taught me a lot.
Hey, we're gonna keep it 100. Flock, you had money while you was in school.
Right.
Yeah, but it was my parents' money. Right. I got my own money. It taught me a lot.
You had an allowance.
Flock was walking around in Prada.
Bro, like it taught me a lot. I was there for a reason. I did my time, but I mean, it was time to move on.
Nah, coach, for me, for sure, bro. I think it hit me senior year. We were getting smacked. Like, y'all know we were getting smacked. And then eventually just hit me like, man, this is it. Like, that's how it's gonna end. So bro, I just started getting angry at all y'all every day. And I started that's when those pregame speeches started, man. I started yelling at y'all. But like, coach, it really hit me like, hey, this is it. Like, you're not gonna play for anything else that matters after that, man. So I would have liked to go back because I can't yell at people for no reason anymore. Like, I can't just start cussing people out like I do. Like,
So what do y'all think about just with the whole coronavirus situation? If you guys were playing, you guys were seniors, and you didn't get a chance to finish out your year like a lot of people did, what would y'all think about trying to come back again? You should need a waiver to come back. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. I just want to get some of y'all's take on that.
I'd be sick about it. Because, I mean, you got a lot of guys. I'm pretty sure that they made the tournament, and it was a senior year. It probably might have been like the first time they went to the tournament, and now they can't even go because of what's going on. So it sucks. Like, I'm pretty sure it sucks for a lot of them.
What do you think about that, Rob?
I think those guys should have an opportunity to return to school for an extra year. Anybody who wants to, without having to sit out or sign a waiver or anything like that, just because the opportunity was taken away from them because of something they have no control over. So I feel like those athletes should be able to return if they choose that they want to do so.
I agree with that. I'm gonna step in here too, because you were talking about people going on playing pro to the next level or whatever, but obviously a vast majority of these guys aren't going to be doing that. A lot of them probably don't even have the intention to. I mean, this is all they've been working towards, especially the seniors. So you got to feel for those guys. I think you should give them an opportunity to come back as well, because I mean, you got something you formed over time. Not even just this season; it goes way beyond that. Building up a team, and they're not going to have the opportunity to carry that out. So I'm sick for them too, like Terry said.
What do you think, Tyler, just being a military guy, a lot of people say, like, they don't know how much they miss sports until they miss sports. Every time I turn on the TV, every time I turn on online, that a lot of people saying, man, my outlet is sports. My outlet is sports. What are you hearing with your military personnel that, like, watch a lot of sports? If people that are overseas that just, when they get done with their work day, just want to come watch a football game, want to come watch a soccer game. Like, how does that relate, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's hit us heavy. So the unit I'm at now, the CEO, he's like the commander of our unit, and he puts his son in AAU. So I'll talk to him about the NBA. We were talking about March Madness, and I mean, he's the highest level ranking person in the unit. And just talking to him, and I remember when Kobe Bryant passed, and it was crazy. And he talked to our entire unit, like, man, who was really affected by this? I mean, I raised my hand. Man, I grew up on Kobe Bryant. It was our generation, and going into March Madness and the NBA being postponed or possibly just canceled. Everybody, in the military, fitness is a big thing, and they love their sports. So it's definitely unfortunate, unprecedented, but something that had to be done with the level of contact that one person can transfer to another individual. So in my opinion, this is definitely going into the summer. If not, I think it may start decreasing in May sometime, but we won't see kind of a normal, regular kind of life. People doing their work, going to different entertainment and everything. That might not happen till the summer, maybe even the fall. So it's going to take some time because they're talking about they have a vaccine made, but usually it takes a while to do the testing. So
come on, give us that plug. Give us that government plug, man. You know what they got over there, man. Come on, tell them, man.
They got a private organization that has made a vaccine, but the vaccine is not as good, or you can't tell how it's going to affect others until you do the testing process. So, and usually the testing takes a while because it may work on 100, but if it doesn't work on that 5, you may need to go back and redevelop. And so it's going to be interesting to see how kind of this transcends in the next few months.
All right, cool. Appreciate that, man. So let me get back to Mike T real quick. Yeah, I ain't forget about you, man. I did not know that you was the Globetrotters roster generals thing until like last year. Tell me about that experience. Like, how was that being a part of that, and what did you learn from that experience?
I mean, it was a lot of fun. I got to learn a lot of like pretty cool tricks. I had no idea what I was kind of getting myself into when I first went in for the tryout and stuff. I was actually just delivering lunches one day at Panera, and that was actually how I ended up talking to some guy in PR, and he introduced me to the CEO of the Globetrotters, and things just kind of like came together for me. But like from the overall experience, like, I mean, it was awesome to be able to travel the world. We got to go over to Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, just a lot of places like outside the country that I never thought that I would have been able to visit, especially at this age. And it was a great opportunity. The vibe was great from the fans to all the support from the back office. And it was just, it was a really fun time as far as being around basketball and just being around a lot of characters who really just have fun with it.
Did you have to learn how to spin the ball on 2 fingers, on your head, on your toe? Like, how does that stuff work?
Yeah. So I like I said, when I went in for the tryout, I couldn't even spin the ball. I mean, I was trying. I could kind of get it on my finger and for like a little bit, but like now, I mean, I got it down to where I can spin it. I can go up underneath my arm. I can go behind my head. I mean, they got all sorts of tricks. They got guys on there who've been doing it for 20 plus years who can spin it on their nose and all that type. So it's crazy.
So quick shout out, rest in peace. I know we just lost one of your Harlem Globetrotter longtime members. It's Curly. Did you ever get a chance to meet him and chop it up with him at all?
I didn't, but we actually I can't remember which game it was specifically, but we had a memorial with his family. They came out to one of the games, and it was actually a pretty fun game. They all got to come out and dance with the team and just interact with the crowd and have fun again.
Wow. All right, cool. Hey, real quick, gonna go to football real quick. I see Dustin got that Texas hoodie on. What's up with those Texans, bro? What's up with Texas? You trading D-Hop, and y'all doing some things over there. What y'all doing over there, man? I'm a Cowboys fan, so
Oh, we're letting Bill O'Brien take care of a lot of the stuff. That's our first problem. But no, it's weird, man, because we're not going to have D-Hop back. There's rumors about Deshaun Watson wanting to get out of there now. They brought in Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb for receivers, but I don't know, man. We'll see. It's interesting right now. It's a tough time being a Houston fan because you got the Astros going through what they're going through, the Texans blowing up like that. The Rockets were doing good, but
the Rockets playing small ball, man. How they gonna win with that?
I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna win with James Harden, to be honest with you. But
hey, thinking about it, we should have played small ball with Terry and Art 4 and 5,
and just run.
Yeah.
Yeah, run and shoot threes, Terry.
They had Terry in that pinch post like Kobe, man.
Got me posting up Sean Kemp Jr. and all kind of crazy people, man.
Hey, but I will say, we took a lot of losses together, man. But I feel like nobody ever beat us like SFA used to beat us, man. Oh, my God.
They beat Duke.
Thomas Walkup.
Hey, Walkup was the truth, though, man. I don't know how he was good. I remember that.
His brother was good.
Steroids, dog. Like, man.
He hosted him on his visit. That's why he didn't come.
Who did? Me? Oh, yeah. You got to let Flock handle the visits.
Yo, what you mean I never missed? What y'all talking about?
Nah, that was my miss.
Yeah, hold up. Hey, y'all came for a weekend with Ant. You were coming.
That's how I felt, and I feel like I got a lot of players there, man, for sure. I hosted a lot of visits.
I had Marcel on his visit telling me, he was asking me how things would go, and I'm like, oh, it's like this. He's like, all that going to change when I get here. You see those rings that the women's team got? Ours is going to be 6 times as big.
Mr. Mino, see you.
I'm like, hey, bro, we won 5 games last year, but you got it, big dog. We can do it.
We got it up to 10.
Wait, we only won 5? Our first year?
I remember freshman year, we had like Oregon, Washington, all them schools on the schedule. Marcus was looking at the schedule like, yo, we gonna be about 15-0 with conference.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. We played Washington. I think that was one of our first games.
Oh, that was the Thanksgiving trip. I remember that. We ate
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
I remember that too.
I thought we had a chance. Like I think like Ty. Remember we played LSU. We could have like.
Hold on, Sel. Dude, they had 3 first rounders at Washington.
We're down
Terrence
like 4.
Ross.
Roten, Tony Rote was on that team, and then
Roten came off the bench.
Yeah, come on, man.
Roten was a problem.
But at halftime we're down by like 4. I'm like, oh, we got a chance. We went down like 8.
That was the freshman pride in you.
I was hooping against him. I don't really care about him. I played against Tony Rote a lot, but we like, I'm coming into halftime like, we got a chance, guys. I'm looking around like, man, that's second.
Hey, so Marcel said he had a chance. Did any of y'all boys ever feel like, yo, man, we ain't ever had no chance. Like, it's over with, y'all. Let's hurry up and get this second half over with.
Flock always felt like that.
Bro.
I was ready to get in, so I wasn't tripping.
Dwayne,
I was shooting every time I touched the ball.
Hey, Dwayne used to sit next to me on the bench. He'd be like, Coach E, let's go.
I ain't gonna lie. I want to hear Rob, Ty, and Art answer that question because I already know how Terry feels. Terry, you crazy as me, so.
Bro, some things like we could see that they were much more athletic than us, and it would be a struggle towards the end of the game because we couldn't handle. But I never felt like we couldn't play. Once we were like 5-on-5, we could handle anybody in the court. But towards the end of the game, everybody, I think we missed a little athleticism because they got like big names, big time names like Tony Snell, Oregon. They got good guys playing there.
Hey, hold on. I don't know if I don't know if y'all remember the Michigan game. They have 3 or 4 first rounders when we played Michigan the first time.
Mitch McGarry.
Look at Sale.
Bruh.
I always had hope that we would win.
You want to say
what was the like 6'7", the 6'7" wingman, the white dude, the shooter, the first rounder? Stauskas. Oh my God, he had like 8 threes on us that game.
But even that game, we hooping like we were going back and forth. Like it wasn't like we out there like, oh man, can't be out here. Like
Art, what you killing that game, Art?
What's that? Which game? The
Michigan game.
We played Michigan.
I don't know if I played Michigan. I think I was.
Michigan was my year.
Who was our big man that was killing that game?
Wait, Marcel, you're my boy.
Josh?
I was watching that on TV.
Cody?
Nah.
7?
Who?
Cody.
What is it, Cody?
Maybe Cody. I think maybe Cody or Joe maybe Joe Lattis. I don't know. I can't remember.
Somebody's gone, bro. That was like Rob and
Dawson.
That
was. I think it was Cody Joyce.
Hey, Cody low key had some work, man.
Like I know,
like low key, like
the tempo that Cody played with though.
Cody was nice.
Cody was.
He used to get so mad though. He used to get so mad.
Cody would throw elbows at everybody, bro. What the?
Hey, so, go ahead, Marcel, and I'll wrap it up after you finish.
I'm gonna say just Texas A&M and LSU were 2 games where I feel like we legit could have won. We in the game, we lost by less than 10.
And DePaul still.
Oh yeah, and DePaul, and we really just made crazy decisions. Like not to play. Like I don't want to say. Like we just made some crazy decisions as a whole organization. I'll say.
Hawaii also.
We right there. Like.
Wait.
And Northwestern. My bad, you weren't there.
Hey.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ant.
One good Ty story, then I'll let you wrap it up. Hey, y'all remember we were in film and Ty made a move to the hoop and 3 dudes came to him and he shot it and Coach paused it and was like, Ty, like, well, there's 3 dudes here. Like, what are you thinking? And my man Ty looked at him dead in the face and was like, yeah, but none of them had their hands up and those guys should get the rebound. Bro, Coach had nothing for him. He was like, I mean, and he turned it back on. Like, that's a good answer, bro.
Hey, Ty, what was you thinking in that moment when you saw that?
Hey, they got better memory than me. I probably did say that. Hey, they ain't call me Senior Buckets for nothing. Coach Key just said that on Facebook. I forgot all about that. I was like, Senior Buckets? Oh, yeah. That's me, baby.
Hey, the funnest time we had, though, it got to be my sophomore year. I think Tony and Rob. I think
Yeah, we was lit.
Turks and Caicos going on the winning.
Man.
Hey, I felt like we was invincible right there.
Hey, we went on a 11-game win streak.
Remember?
Yeah, hey, we was giving the ball to Art. Everybody was hooping.
Yo, remember we won our first road game against KC? Bro.
That's what
in the
started
rec gym. In the rec gym.
Cheesecake Factory.
Hey, we went to no, I went to Cheesecake Factory. We went to like someplace. I remember getting those beef ribs, and those things was huge. I remember like rubbing.
If you want to talk about restaurants, what about the time in Oregon when they left E behind? They went to the Nike store and they should take E.
You know how hot. You know how hot I was about that. I had to plug at Nike.
Man,
that's the only thing I kept talking about.
That's the only thing he was talking about the whole time.
Like, I had to plug. I'm like, yo, we about to go to Nike, man. They gonna leave me? I was like, oh man.
Before the trip, he was
like, yo, y'all gotta watch what you eat. You gotta eat clean, bro. We went to Outback that day. He was like, just get the whole menu.
You whatever y'all want.
Whatever you want.
I want it.
Hey, man, that was some good times, man. Hey, so wrapping up real quick, fellas. If you had to give some people, some student athletes, some advice on the HBU experience, just coming to campus, being in Houston, not just specifically athletics, what would you guys say just about being at HBU, some positive things?
Let me start. I would say like HBU was a great experience, such a great positivity from everybody else, from everybody there, from the coaches, from student athletes, from volleyball, from soccer. So it's a great place to grow as a person, and I miss those days. Like if I could go back and live it again, it was great.
My boy.
I would say HBU has a lot of you're near a lot of stuff going on in Houston. Whether we can laugh about it or not, we knew we had each other, and we knew we had people that we could count on. It wasn't nobody like trying to do nothing negative or bad to us. The environment wasn't toxic in a sense like that, where we had people trying to get at us. Yeah, nothing like sharp when it's actually banging. I'll say that too.
Well, all right, fellas, I just want to say thank y'all for coming on the No Referees podcast today. Good to see y'all boys. Good to chop it up with y'all. Glad to hear everybody doing great things. Love y'all boys. Be safe and stay safe and stay quarantined. And we'll talk to y'all soon.
Yeah, man. Good seeing y'all too, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having us, Coach G.
All right.
Alrighty, Coach. Appreciate that time.
All right,
y'all be good, everybody.
All right, everybody.
All right, man.
Montana.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the No Referees podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening to this show, and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on social media at No Referees Pod. Till the next episode, we out.